Hey, in the spirit of the NFL draft, which has been going on, I want to tell you an interesting story from the actual scout who brought Mike Vick into the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons. So I happened to get to know this individual over the last few months. And basically, as a fan, as somebody who loved the NFL and was a huge Mike Vick fan growing up as a kid before the whole dogfighting scandal, I wanted to know, what was Mike Vick like? And, what kind of happened from your eyes? And he was very forthright in, explaining the details. He was actually the guy who picked Mike Vick up from the airport after he got drafted for Atlanta. So what he said was, hey, Mike was an incredible guy. He was incredibly friendly, a hardworking guy. But his downfall was his inability to escape some of his past. He had friends, he had family who were reliant on the money that he was making, and he wanted to keep those people part of his life, but couldn't necessarily, he couldn't separate them from what he was trying to do as a professional. And as habits started to take hold and people were self-reliant on him, and he got pulled into some criminal behavior, which, again, he's responsible for, and he's taken that responsibility. He was unable to separate that, and that led to going to prison. That led to his downfall, losing a $100 million contract, all the endorsements, and all of that stuff. And this got me thinking back to a popular analogy, the crabs in the bucket analogy. And as it goes, when you have crabs that are in a bucket and one climbs up and tries to escape, the other ones pull him right back down. Now, you might not necessarily have the same battles that Mike Vick did, right? Most of us probably didn't. But we all have people in our life that tend to pull us down, that don't necessarily help us achieve the goals that we want. And if we do not take hold, if we do not have conversations to either set new expectations or separate ourselves from some of those individuals, well, they can tend to pull us back down. So what I want you to do is take a few minutes and I want you to think, are there people who are not supportive of your goals? How can you approach that differently? Can you let them know? Or are there people that you actually need to remove from your environment in order to be the best version of yourself? You see, obviously Mike Vick is an extreme example, but the people that we put around us do play a huge role in who we do become. And this applies directly to fitness. If you have people that are encouraging you to go out and binge drink or to eat foods that aren't going to help you attain your best body or give you the energy that you want. These are all things that, at the end of the day, are our responsibility to fix. So take a few minutes today, do a deep dive. Are there things that you could work on, that you could change, and maybe people that shouldn't necessarily be the biggest part of your life going forward? Just something for you to consider, because at the end of the day, your environment and those you surround start to determine who you will become going forward and in the future. All right? Let me know what you're thinking there. Have you ever experienced this? Have you found that you need to cut people out of your life? And if so, how did you do it tactfully? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll go from there.